unlike anything you've ever gone through to be the subject of tens of millions of dollars of untrue, terrible attacks. And now the Koch brothers say they're going to spend $750 million to defeat the Democratic nominee. I'm still standing, and I will be standing, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Elton John going to let her use that? Probably so. Jay Sekulow, Chief Counsel of the American Center for Law and Justice, joins us. He's also the author of the new book, Undemocratic, Rogue, Reckless, and Renegade, How the Government is Stealing Democracy One Agency at a Time. Hello, Jay.
Hey, Steve.
Good to talk to you. All right, so she's still standing. We had Donald Trump earlier on the show, and Donald Trump said, something's going to happen to her. He's not sure what. Out of this whole email thing. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, look, I think we don't have all the evidence, but what we've seen so far, you would think that the FBI would be working up what's called a CRL, a criminal reference letter, which would then go over to the Department of Justice with a recommendation of prosecution, assuming the evidence is what we've seen. The thing that has me a little bit in a quandary is there's no indication that she's been talked to, spoken with, interviewed by the FBI, which would lead me to believe that before there's going to be a criminal prosecution, they would certainly try to talk to, they may not be able to, but try to talk to a target of the actual investigation. So that says, there may not be as much as of a push to prosecute as we thought. But James Comey's a straight up guy, the head of the FBI. If he makes a recommendation to the Department of Justice and they blow it off for political reasons, I think the Obama administration would have ramifications. In the book, in the paperback, we redid the paperback or the hardback and added several chapters on the Hillary Clinton email scandal because I think it's that big of a deal. Yeah, and I laid out the case, what the case is against Hillary Clinton, going through the statutes, how it works. So we've laid that out in Undemocratic. But you would think that this would be a prosecution. But there's a lot of political ramifications for this. Some of those email exchanges went between the president and Hillary Clinton. So how does that play into it? Nobody really knows. Right.
And, Webb Hubble, of all people, I had him on the other day, and I let him hear what Josh Earnest had to say the other day, which was shocking to even me, that she doesn't appear to be the target. He thinks an indictment is unlikely. And Webb Hubble, who, barely has a negative word to say about Hillary these days at all, said if the White House and or Obama has talked to DOJ about this case, it's very problematic.
Well, that would be for sure. And I can't imagine that's happened yet because I don't think there's been an actual recommendation from the Department of Justice over to, from the FBI to the DOJ, I was a government lawyer myself. I worked at Treasury and brought cases, and I've worked with the Department of Justice before. So this is a process that you go through in these things, Steve. And I would think the evidence is mounting. I will tell you this. If she were to lose, a bunch of these primaries coming up, South Carolina, the SEC states, her political invincibility would be tarnished. Maybe then there's there's less political pressure. But, as long as she's the likely Democratic frontrunner, I just can't see this administration indicting their former Secretary of State. That doesn't mean they should not, but I don't see that as likely right now.
All right. Yesterday, she was asked at the debate if she will release her Goldman Sachs transcripts, the speeches that she was paid over $600,000 for, where she now claims, I went there to tell them what I'm going to do to them. And now we know they were transcripts. Now, unless they were erased, Donald Trump told me today he thinks she will have to release them. Do you think she will or will have to?
Oh, legally she doesn't.
No, not legally, but I mean pressure-wise.
Politically, does she have to?
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, I watched the debate yesterday, and contrary to some people, I thought she did a pretty good job. I thought she had a good debate. And, I don't agree with her positions on anything. But to say that she didn't have a good debate, as someone that spends their living and life debating, that's what I do, she had a good debate. I don't think she's going to release those transcripts of private speeches. You know what? You and I have given private speeches. I don't know if I'd want those released either. Because you say things in the context of a private meeting that you aren't intended for public consumption. Right. So that'll be her argument. Now, she raised it as a defense, so that may play into it. Right. So we'll see. I mean, I think Trump brings up a good point that, she's made this as kind of defense. I told them what I was going to do.
Right, so the pressure might mount politically. Yeah. Jay, great to talk to you, folks. The book, Undemocratic. Pick it up, get it, read, learn, especially about the Hillary case. Thank you, sir. We're coming back with Gavin McInnes next. Don't go away.